Just a reminder then, Real Madrid third in La Liga going into this tie, 24 points ahead of Osasuna sitting in 10th. Right then, let's take you through the starting 11. We knew no Luka Modric, he is out injured, so it'll be Tchouaméni alongside Valverde and Cruz in midfield. Rodrigo, Benzema, Vinicius Junior, we're used to that three-pronged attack now. Camavinga, Alaba, Militao and Carvajal at the back. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Modric, though, is on the bench. Their first ever trophy by the end of today. Who needs to shine? Who has impressed you so far this season for them?
Quite normal before a game when you've never been in this situation before. But I think for the Osasuna Football Club is something, or for the player, is like, guys, we're here and we have the chance to win or to achieve one of the biggest, trophy for this football club. A club that have 105 or 102 years of history, and they can give to the fans and to everyone, to the city, a special moment. I'm always a big fan from the Basque teams, because my grandfather come from a place which is very close from Pamplona, and they're so passionate. They have a great fans base, and for them it would be amazing to see the team winning. I know they would be an amazing 3 days after that game in Pamplona to see the fans celebrating and the first major trophy. So hopefully the player, they can enjoy, they can go out and say, lads, we don't have nothing to lose, but at least let's enjoy, let's have a good game.
Sid, the atmosphere looks brilliant, and we've still got, what, 37 minutes to go till kick-off as we just see Real Madrid making their way up onto the pitch.
It really is a fantastic occasion, the Copa del Rey final, and it makes you want to rebel against this kind of narrative that's built up over the last week. And a lot of the conversation has been, as it has been for the last couple of months, about Ancelotti's future and whether this game affects that, about whether this helps Real Madrid to prepare properly for the Manchester City game or not. And Ancelotti was asked this yesterday, and he made the point that, look, we prepare better if we have a trophy cabinet with more trophies in it. This would be good for us for that game. But the reason why I say we have to rebel against it is exactly as you say. The atmosphere is fantastic. The occasion is fantastic. To strip away a Manchester City game, even if the focus has been on that, and this is a big game. There's been a discussion this week about whether this should always be the last game of the season, to try and give it that extra sense of importance. You've finished the league and this is the final game, and everyone wants... you come back to where it was here last year, and Betis winning at that, which was their first trophy for 17 years, was absolutely fantastic. It would be extraordinary if Osasuna win something tonight. The atmosphere would be amazing. But I actually think it would be pretty good if Real Madrid do as well. I think this does matter, and it matters for Ancelotti as well. I don't know if you heard that press conference before the Chelsea game when he said, look, if we win the Copa del Rey, this team would have won every trophy there is to win in the last 16 months alone. Some teams don't do that in decades or their entire career. Now, of course, he's talking about himself there, but it would be pretty big for Real Madrid too.
Luis, given that record that they have, given their success, which has been unprecedented over the last 2 years, Karim Benzema, Modric, Toni Kroos, those sort of players, do they still get nervous ahead of these games?
I guess a little bit in the beginning, when you are going to face any kind of games. It doesn't matter if you play hundreds of finals or you play the World Cups or the Champions League final. It doesn't matter. A final is a final. You feel that excitement. I'm not saying that they're going to feel nervous when they got the ball, but I think that when they approach to the game, you feel that how you call it, butterflies in your stomach. And when you go into the pitch and you start warming up, and then the referee just make the first whistle, everything goes away and you focus on what you have to do. There are so many things to think on a football pitch to get you nervous. So I'm not expecting to see nervous Benzema. I'm expected to see Vinicius Junior with a little bit of nerve, with anxiety. Let's see if he can manage and control what we've seen so far with him, because it's been quite a few times that we talked about his situation apart from football, and we would like to see him very focused on the game.
That's true, Pablo. We've talked a lot, haven't we, about Vinicius Junior being brilliant for much of this season, but also having those flashes of anger, of kind of immature, losing his temper. Like, these sort of flashes have dominated the conversation around him. If you're an Osasuna defender going into this tie, how aware are you of that, and how much?
It's just been, give me the ball again. If I lose it, no problem. If I lose the ball...
Every aspect, the weaknesses and the strength. That's how I used to visualize and try to put myself before the game into the game. That kind of gave you that confidence that when the whistle goes on, you are ready to face the game. But definitely, you are excited. This is one of the most beautiful games that you can play here in La Liga.
Only makes it onto the bench, so it's Tchouaméni in midfield alongside Valverde and Cruz. Alaba partners Militao in the centre of the Real Madrid defence. Meanwhile, for Osasuna, you feel it's going to be one heck of a battle, isn't it? In the midfield here, Toro, Aymar, of course, leading that. Budimir looking to lead the line for Osasuna, who come to this game, no doubt about it, as big underdogs looking for their first ever Copa del Rey victory. Real Madrid 7-1 on. That means you have to put on $7 to win one. Osasuna, meanwhile, at 9-2 to lift
that moment better than Real Madrid in a final? I don't think so. I think this is Real Madrid. You have prepared and made all sorts of excuses for this moment. You've been saying, you know what, those games, they're not our priority. We're focusing on Copa del Rey final and Champions League, where here we are, Copa del Rey final. There are no more excuses for this team. This is a team that shows up for finals. This is a team that hasn't won this competition since 2014, which is surprising when you think of it that way. I think this is all Real Madrid all the time. It's a great story for Osasuna. It's a cute story, but it's a story that comes to a sad end, Real Madrid winning.
Spot Cup finals are all about. It's Real Madrid against Osasuna live here on ESPN+. Your commentators for this tie, Steve McManaman and Ian Dark.
Between the Spanish giants and reigning European champions Real Madrid and unsung Osasuna from northern Spain, from the famous bull-running city of Pamplona, a club who've got more fans here tonight than usually can be the capacity at their stadium. 25,000 from the city of Pamplona have come to see this final in a steaming hot Sevilla. Real Madrid in their 40th Copa del Rey final. They've only won it 19 times. They've lost the other 20 finals that they've been in, surprisingly. Osasuna, only the second final in their history. The other one 18 years ago when they were beaten after extra time by Real Betis. Steve, it's a classic, isn't it? Aristocrats against artisans type of occasion.
Yeah, it's a wonderful occasion, isn't it? Particularly for Osasuna and their many, many travelling fans. Of course, Real Madrid in another final. It's every single year it seems to happen, so they'll go in as big favourites. But what a story if Osasuna can go and get a victory.
Some tension down there in the tunnel. Karim Benzema is back in the Real Madrid team tonight. He's had a little muscular injury which has troubled him for quite a bit of this season. In fact, he didn't play in the midweek defeat against Real Sociedad. It's quite a scene here in the Estadio de la Cartuja in Sevilla, and that's what they're playing for, the Copa del Rey final.
Yeah, and there's Joaquin bringing the trophy out from Real Betis. Superstar player, iconic in the area of Sevilla, of course. Nice to see him. Plays in the tunnel, getting ready. Are there nerves? Are there nerves in that Osasuna line-up? Certainly not in the Real Madrid one. They've been here many, many times in finals. Nothing phases them.
What an occasion for these Osasuna players. Most of their squad have come up through the youth ranks. The most they've ever spent on a player is 8.8 million euros. Compare that to Real Madrid, whose budget is roughly 13 times the size of Osasuna, who are doing very well, really, to be in mid-table in La Liga after being promoted 4 seasons ago. Fans here have been royally entertained for an hour or so before kick-off. It's a stadium which in the past has staged concerts by the likes of Madonna, U2, Bruce Springsteen and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's the new home, the neutral home of this Copa del Rey final. Brilliant atmosphere.
Brilliant atmosphere, Ian. As you rightly said, it's a warm night in Sevilla. In a bit of a heat wave going on. There's the King, Felipe, taking his seat. Been a busy man. He was in London for the coronation. Now he's here at the cup final.
Yes, at that majestic occasion in London, the coronation of a new king. And here tonight for the Copa del Rey, which translates as the King's Cup. You played in this in the past, didn't you?
Yes, I lost in it, Ian. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, Real Madrid organised the final to be on the 100th year anniversary at the Bernabeu. So, of course, we were always going to lose. Written in the stars. How can you be as arrogant as that?
Jam-packed stadium. Real Madrid playing a very, very strong team tonight. They clearly mean business. They're taking Osasuna very seriously, even though they haven't lost to them since 2011. This season, though, at the Bernabeu, it was a 1-1 draw between these two sides in La Liga. Carlo Ancelotti, who's won 5 trophies in his second coming as the Real Madrid coach. The word is that Brazil want him pretty badly to be their new coach. There's the Real Madrid team tonight. Luka Modric is fit enough only for the bench. Otherwise, very strong, as we say. The big players rested in midweek in the defeat to Real Sociedad all return. Karim Benzema, Vinicius Jr., Eduardo Camavinga returning from a ban at left back, and a fit again David Alaba. And dropping to the bench, Rudiger, Nacho, Ceballos, Asensio and Mariano Diaz. First ever Copa del Rey final for referee Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez. David Garcia there on the right, the proud captain of Osasuna. And of course the VAR team are waiting to play their part if necessary. Not too much, we hope, I suppose, from a neutral point of view. Osasuna's team pretty much as expected, but they prefer the Croatian striker Ante Budimir to the man who's the leading scorer in the Copa del Rey this season, Kike. 9 of this 11 were rested for the midweek defeat against Barcelona. The only 2 who started that one and play again here, midfielders Aymar and Lucas Toro, a player who's twice been bought by Real Madrid in his past. Quite a scene. And Real Madrid, remember, we wondered whether they might field a weaker team than this, didn't we, Steve? Because they've got Manchester City in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final coming up in 3 days' time.
Yes, I mean, for me, they had to go strong here, and it's a cup final. If you're a player, you want to play in these big games, and you also need a little bit of continuity. So you want to play today, you want to play well, and then you roll on to the home game in Madrid against Manchester City. It's no surprise that Madrid have gone strong today. They've been resting a lot of players in the league games. That's why their form hasn't been so prolific. So we'll wait and see how they perform this evening.
The 2 coaches joked with each other a few weeks ago that they would be meeting again in this final. That was by no means certain at the time, but it's happening here. Remember, Real Madrid had to come from behind and win 4-0 away at Barcelona in the semi-final. Put on quite a performance for Carlo Ancelotti on that occasion. Is this his last season, I wonder? And this is the man who's a hero to the fans of Osasuna, Jacobo Arrasate, a former lower division striker who's taken the club up into La Liga and kept them there comfortably in the middle of the table. Osasuna have not got to let the occasion get to them, have they? That is a possibility that there might be an element of stage fright.
Yeah, it's a possibility. This is what you dream of if you're a professional footballer, playing at the highest level, playing in finals, wanting to lift trophies, wanting to make history for your club, and that's what they will do. They will be hailed as superstars in Osasuna, of course, in that area if they go and beat Madrid tonight.
Real Madrid have had to come from behind in the tie in the last 3 rounds of this competition. And Osasuna have had to play extra time 4 times. So it's been far from straightforward for both of these two clubs to get to this final. Here's Camavinga, who looks just as good at left back as he does in midfield. Vinicius Junior. He's going to love this stage, and he's causing some havoc here with this run. And it's an early goal for Rodrigo. Osasuna caught up straight away, and Real Madrid strike within 2 minutes.
What a start. The boys and Sid were speaking about Vinicius earlier on and how he would play tonight and how his reaction would be. But you've seen it within 90 seconds. Osasuna could not live with him, and he puts on a play for his teammate Rodrigo. You see here, scoots inside, pulls the ball back. Rodrigo's not going to miss from there. Too easy. Flies past Moncayola and then goes past Ruben Peña as if he's not even there. It's actually quite poor defensively, but Real Madrid come flying out of the blocks to lead in the Copa del Rey final.
I think you've got to say as well, the Osasuna defence just seemed to freeze early on here. No sign of a tackle at all, and that really is, well, calamitous when you're facing somebody like Vinicius Junior. Exactly the start the underdogs did not want. Most of their players hadn't even touched the ball when that happened. The young Brazilian Rodrigo is now getting way more starts for Real Madrid, scoring a big goal as he did a few times at the end of the Champions League campaign last year. Here's Kroos, who will be staying, a new deal for him, and the word is that Luka Modric is going to have a contract extension pretty soon, will be announced. Alaba back from injury to take his place in central defence. I would think this would be not far away from the team that Real Madrid put out at the Bernabeu on Tuesday night against Manchester City. What a game that is. Maybe Modric will come in and start that one. Work there for Moncayola to get back, and again Vinicius in that threatening position. Benzema this time. Aridani got a foot to it to get it away. But this is a horrendous start for the team from Pamplona.
Yes, it is. And if you're Real Madrid, you just want to feed Vinicius Junior as much as possible, because he seems to be able to just run past the defenders at will. And that's a big problem.
Well, they have to have a plan, don't they, for dealing with him. Sometimes they play Moncayola at right back. He's playing in midfield today, and they've got Peña at right back, and it wasn't a happy start for him.
Well, he had 2 of them there, Ian, and he scooted past a pair of them.
Real Madrid, who last won the Copa del Rey as long ago as 2014, a famous solo goal by Gareth Bale, scoring that goal where he went off the pitch and came back on and still managed to get the winner against Barcelona. They haven't been in the final since then.
No. Huge surprise is the goal again. Rodrigo takes it a touch, doesn't it? got the defender to go past Sergio Herrera, but still, he was never going to miss Rodrigo as long as he got good contact on it.
Cruz trying to just calm everybody down in the red shirts of Osasuna. And the fans so noisy and boisterous before the game. This is Pena coming forward this time on the right-hand side, trying to find Budimir, who was waiting for something in the middle. Budimir, who scored twice in the first 11 minutes in a win in late April against Real Betis.
Shot for you. Looks as if there's a camera on the corner flag.
There's cameras everywhere in this stadium. They're not going to miss anything. Moncayola with that corner. Aridane with the header, a decent one, but no problem really for Courtois, none at all. Courtois is one of the few in the Real Madrid ranks who's actually won this competition before. That was with Atletico Madrid a decade ago. Benzema's won it before, back in 2014. So too Dani Carvajal. Luka Modric, of course, is on the bench tonight after his recent injury. Here's Toro, twice been on Real Madrid's books, the holding midfield player here for Osasuna. Pena to play it inside. Helped forward by Aymar. Pena again. Signs of them settling, and the header from Budimir wasn't bad at all. It was a difficult one. Just couldn't get the velocity on it he wanted.
You're right, Ian. It was a difficult header, and it was a good header from him. You see, he had to step away from the goal, arch his neck, get his head on it. Wasn't a bad effort from Budimir at all.
He's preferred tonight to Kike, who's got 5 goals in the Copa del Rey this season and did score at the Bernabeu earlier on this season. Here's Pena again, coming up with 1 or 2 efforts on goal. That was Aymar with the header. That's 3 efforts they've had in the last, 90 seconds?
Yeah, Vinicius Junior loses the ball, and the referee was going to blow, and then he ends up playing the advantage, and off the ball, Moncayola and Vinicius Junior had words again. Interesting to see.
He is getting involved in quite a lot of stuff, isn't he?
Yeah.
On the pitch, Vinicius Junior. He has, of course, we should add, been the victims of some cruel racist abuse this season as well, so hasn't been easy. Finding him again, and this time Moncayola gets in the challenge. Toro trying to bite in as Osasuna start to settle here. And they're going to get the free kick here as well.
It was a late call, wasn't it, by the referee? Painful one for Toro.
Nasty looking fall. Cut out by Camavinga. Barcelona have dominated this competition in recent years. They've won 5 of the last 8 editions of the Copa del Rey, which is the oldest domestic competition in Spain. There have been 12 different trophies. You've seen the handsome one currently available to these two sides. Eder Militao, who's not been in great form just lately. They have lost 2 of their last 3 games, Real Madrid, but there is a sense that maybe they've been keeping their powder dry for this and the Champions League semi.
I think that's fair to say. They've chopped and changed a lot of the players, haven't they? All in preparation for this game tonight and the Manchester City game.
Moncayola to play it forward. Roy Gomez, former Villarreal player, in the centre of midfield. He's played in a Europa League final before, the one against Manchester United. He scored in the shootout there. Cruz with the cross. They're committing plenty of red shirts forward to support every attack here, Osasuna.
Yes, they are. They have to be careful that they don't get caught.
Here he is again. Vinicius fancies himself in a foot race. And good covering by Aridane, the central defender with the rock star hairstyle.
He's very fortunate, Moncayola, because he's not as quick as Vinicius Jr. at all. It's just a simple kick the ball past and run. But you're right, Aridane come across and helped him, and he's going to have to, because that is a mismatch really, Vinicius on Moncayola. And if they leave him one-on-one, they're going to have trouble all day, Osasuna.
Abde Azalzouli, who's on loan from Barcelona. That's the point that won't have been lost on the Real Madrid supporters here. We'll get a bit of the treatment from them. He did have a little run in the Barca team last season. Moroccan international, part of the World Cup squad. Lovely spin from Vinicius. Then the acceleration. It's a great run so far. Benzema trying to bend one. Aridane getting the block in. An important block as well. This was gone.
Yeah, lovely play again by Vinicius Jr. He looks up for it, doesn't he?
Benzema's in absolutely prime form at the moment. 3 hat-tricks in his last 8 appearances. Manchester City, be warned. Not that they need much warning.
I was going to say.
He's hardly a secret, is he?
No. Scored home and away against them last year, didn't he? Of course, scored the decisive penalty at the Bernabeu. So Manchester City will know him, all about him. They've got their own goal scorer elite at the moment as well, haven't they? So it should be a competition and a half. He's at it again, Moncayola.
Vinicius Jr. said see you later, really, with that dummy. They're struggling to contain him, and it could be costly this time again. Aridane, who's already been busy and done a lot of important work in that defence. We've only had about 13 minutes of this game. So much seems to have happened. Quite a final, isn't it? Real Betis, the reigning holders of the Copa del Rey, but they were knocked out by Osasuna, who come back to Seville. They beat Real Betis here on penalties. They also knocked out the other big club, of course, in this city, Sevilla.
Just a little tummy from Vinicius Jr., Mega Moncayola.
Here's Aymar. There's been a bit of verbal crossfire out there already, hasn't there?
Yeah, there has. Opportunity to get another ball into the box, get the men forward.
And goal by Rodrigo, by the way, the 3rd he scored in this competition already this season. Moncayola with a chance to get the cross in, and they did get a header away there as well.
Chance, Ian. There was a chance. Lovely ball in by Moncayola.
Toro, wasn't it, with the header?
Yeah.
He was the one that got there.
There he is. Evergreen Luka Modric.
And it looks like his illustrious stay with Real Madrid is going to be extended if reports are to be believed.
Oh yeah, and rightly so.
He's 37 now, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
They've had to manage his game time.
Yeah.
Quite clearly.
Yeah, 38 in September. when I spoke to him last year, he said he felt great. He said he could play and wants to play for as long as physically possible.
Yeah, you're a long time retired, aren't you?
Yes, exactly.
And he's still very, very fit. Toro to spread the play. Here's Abde. Gomez. Abde again. He can be a tricky winger. That was an errant pass that time, and you probably can't afford that against Real Madrid. It can take quite a long time to get the ball back.
They're very positive though, Osasuna. Going pressing Real Madrid. Nice and high up the pitch, and they've won it back.
Toro's nice little dummy. Moy Gomez again. Forward by Juan Cruz. He was the player who was telling everybody, let's just calm down and make sure we stay focused here and not let that early goal put us too much off our game.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Just get back in your shape.
Like a lot of the Osasuna players, they've got a background playing in the lower divisions and who've come through to make a career in La Liga, guided by this coach Jacobo Arrasate. The club nearly went into liquidation 8 seasons ago. They were on the verge of relegation to the 3rd tier as well. It's been an amazing recovery really to this point, and I think their president summed it up nicely, Luis Sabalsa, who's 75 years old, and said for Real Madrid this is a cup final, for us it's the cup final.
Yeah.
Kroos spreading the play in trademark style.
Lovely ball.
Dani Carvajal has fallen here for the goal scorer Rodrigo inside the first 2 minutes of the game. Difficult bounce for Vinicius. He would have needed to be Superman to do anything with that. Carlo Ancelotti, I think, thinks he is Superman, doesn't he? Didn't he say he was the best player in the world a few weeks ago?
Yeah. He said some very complimentary things. He said something nice about Militao, and since he said that, all he's done is make mistakes. So yeah, you have to be careful.
Well, there was another one, wasn't there? That terrible back pass the other night against Real Sociedad. So I hope he's got his game face back on for the
he's going to need it.
Big games coming up now.
Yeah, Budimir tonight. And he's going to have Erling Haaland in a couple of days.
Nice little layoff by Valverde. There's Tchouaméni. 3rd start in a row for him. One or two feelings that maybe he was just slipping down the pecking order a bit after the World Cup, which maybe have took a bit out of him. It's a long old season stretching into June for the top clubs around Europe.
This is the most important part though, Ian, for the best teams. It means you're involved in trying to win the league or cup finals. This is what it's all about. This is what you start training for in June, July, August, early pre-season, getting ready for these big moments.
This is the 121st edition of the Copa del Rey. And Real Madrid on course early on here to add the trophy to their vast collection of silverware. 95 trophies in their history. Just the 95.
Just the 95.
Osasuna don't have any, not at the top level anyway. Promotions, of course. So that's going to be a battle, isn't it, right the way through the game? Moncayola,
yes,
who plays just about every game.
He's getting
for Osasuna against Vinicius. Here it is again. Vinicius is winning the battle so far. And then Valverde, snapshot from him.
Again, Moncayola just gets caught from a simple throw-in. Fede Valverde wins the ball back on the edge of the box and just slashes it wide, but he needs a bit of help, Moncayola, on this side of the pitch.
Peña's over there as well, isn't he? Those two between them, though, are just finding him too hot to handle so far. David Garcia to attempt to spread the play. It was easily cut out there by Camavinga. And there it is again. And Moncayola is going to get a yellow card, and there's a real risk here now. That's after 20 minutes. 70 left.
You have to change him off, don't you? You have to just change him with Peña. Just change positions, because now the yellow cards come. You can't go down to 10 men.
Well, they don't want this dream game to turn into a nightmare.
No.
John Moncayola, one club man. From a Spain under-21 international. He's got his work cut out there now. And I think the coach has got a bit of thinking to do, hasn't he, about this?
Yeah, he does.
Here's Cruz. Away by Dani Carvajal. Not very far, though. Moy Gomez to get the cross away. And Budimir was there, and that was a real opportunity.
Yeah, it was. He gets another really good header, doesn't he, Budimir? Good ball in. He's up over David Alaba. Just fades wide. You see here, not a bad header. Just can't direct it goal bound, but he's certainly a threat.
Budimir, who was the club's record signing for $8.8 million from Real Mallorca back in 2021. Here's Vinicius again. This time they do manage to stop him. But you can see, can't you, Vinicius fancies this, doesn't he, tonight?
Oh, yes.
Rather given away by Camavinga. Here's Budimir. Trying to get Aymar away. Aymar, who plays just off the front behind Budimir. Just look at that site. Look at the banks of fans. This stadium, which holds nearly 60,000. Staged the World Track and Field Championships back in 1999, and that final in the UEFA Cup when Jose Mourinho's Porto of the time beat Celtic back in 2003, 20 years ago that was. Real Madrid struggling to clear their lines. Toro plays it. Here's Abdi. Went for the 1-2. Here's the on-loan Barcelona man looking to taunt their biggest rivals. There will be a battle between him and Carvajal, but Carvajal's a tough man to get the better of.
Yeah, he is, yeah. A very experienced pro.
He's asking a lot. But if Abdi could be a big figure for Osasuna, it might be important for them trying to find some kind of foothold. Again, Moncayola's left standing by Vinicius. This is a real problem. There could be another goal here. Benzema!
What a save.
It's a real good block. I think that's Cruz who's got his body in the way. Wow.
What a save, Ian. Sergio Herrera. Beautiful ball by Toni Kroos. And then Tchouaméni to Vinicius Jr. to Rodrigo. And once a force to Benzema, you just think it's going to be a goal. Great stop by the keeper. Saves penalties from Benzema. He's almost got something over the French centre forward.
Herrera was the hero of the semi-final win that Osasuna had against Athletic Club, when they got the decisive goal 4 minutes from the end of extra time. But Herrera had made any number of saves before that. Carvajal and Fede Valverde. Play on, says the referee.
Strange one, wasn't it, I thought. Tchouaméni loses the ball.
Peña did well to keep it in play. Abde's on the chaser and has got a wonderful opportunity for Osasuna. Carvajal with the clearance off the line. Osasuna so close to an equaliser.
Yeah, Militao yet again. What is he playing at? Dani Carvajal to the rescue.
Well, that ball must have been a matter of inches from crossing the line.
Yeah, just doesn't do enough, does he, Abde? Great position. Just goes for the little dink, tries to chip it over Courtois.
Nearly a magic moment for the 21-year-old Barcelona loanee. Budimir again won the header. Moncayola to play it back in. I think one thing we're seeing here from Osasuna tonight is they're not going to die in this competition wondering. That could cost them, though. At the other end is Vinicius again, and again Aradani, the veteran defender, with the clearance.
How many times has he got through? Here's Militao fast asleep again, allows Abde to get across. That touch just takes it away, and it's not a great effort in the end. Dani Carvajal gets there quite comfortably.
I said a matter of inches. It was a couple of feet, wasn't it, in the end? Kroos. This time Budimir's back, helping his defence out.
What you would say, it's nice and open, isn't it, the game? It's great to see in a cup final.
Well, they've taken an enterprising approach at Osasuna, but they're being absolutely terrorised by Vinicius.
Yeah.
Kroos to take this one. Benzema. Valverde. A lot of white shirts forward. One of them is Rodrigo. Again, Aradani gets it away. Tchouaméni wouldn't fall for him. Benzema trying to get it out from under his feet. Benzema hasn't scored against Osasuna for 9 years.
No, I know.
Which is incredible.
I know he's missed penalties. It's just had a great save there from Sergio Herrera. He's got a point to prove, hasn't he, Benzema?
He's currently on 29 goals for the season. Exactly the same number in all competitions as Robert Lewandowski. So there's a little subplot, and it is a subplot. Here's Eduardo Camavinga. Been really useful for Carlo Ancelotti that he has been so accomplished and stylish when moved to left back, which has been a bit of a problem area with Ferland Mendy's injuries. Nacho, of course, has filled in there as well.
Yeah. David Alaba, who's just hit that. He can play left back, of course, but Carlo wants to put him alongside Militao as a central defensive partnership. So Camavinga's work wonders actually as a left full-back. Here's the chance again.
Look at Abdi's reaction afterwards.
Needs to score, Ian, doesn't he? Has to score.
Just didn't get enough on it. Got it past Courtois, okay, but not past the line. Big moment in the game. Always something to really boast about, isn't it? Scoring in a cup final.
Yeah,
particularly in Osasuna's case, only the second final they've ever been in their history. Osasuna's 8th match of the campaign, by the way, and the way things are structured, Real Madrid come in a little later, only their 6th of the campaign. Had to come from 2 behind to beat Villarreal. 3-2 along the way, came from behind with late goals to beat Atletico Madrid. And then, as we were telling you, they're 4-0 hammering in the second leg of the semi against Barca.
Yeah, they've certainly done it the hard way, Madrid, haven't they? They've had difficult games to get here. So you can't fault them for that. And the performance against Barca was excellent, wasn't it, that away leg?
Yeah, they run away with the game that night. Camavinga to play it forward. Rodrigo on the run.
Yeah, it was a foul.
Yeah.
Ref played advantage, to no avail. Takes it back.
No advantage accrued. The Osasuna players are just arguing that point, saying, well, how far do you want to take the play back exactly then?
Yeah.
At times it seemed only a matter of time before Real Madrid had a second. So much control does Vinicius have on the left-hand side. Alaba. Oh, what an effort. Crashes back off the frame of the goal.
What a hit by David Alaba over the wall in loads of movement. You see how it came back down. You said crashes off the crossbar.
Oh, Peña left that a little bit short for Herrera, and Vinicius nearly nipped in. Don't want to under-hit a back pass with his speed around, but look at this by Alaba.
Curling away from Herrera. No chance. The spin on the ball, you see the arc and up and down with pace. Lovely hit from David Alaba. So unfortunate.
Well, his first goal, do you remember, for Real Madrid was in that Clásico, wasn't it?
Yep.
Thumped in from long distance. Rodrigo's goal, timed at 1 minute 47 seconds, the fastest in one of these finals since 2006. That was Temudo scoring for Espanyol against Real Zaragoza. Camavinga's got a bit of work to do, couldn't get there. Aymar gets the cross away. Alaba got it in, and Toro was looking for something to really put his name up in lights there. If that had gone in, he would have been showing that 10,000 times.
If it stayed in the stadium, that was the one he got right under it. I think that's orbiting this. Doesn't half get under it, doesn't he? Really difficult.
Yeah, I think Mission Control at Houston are looking for that one, aren't they? Alaba, who won 4 cups in Germany with Bayern Munich. Here's Kroos, amazingly, one of the few things he hasn't won is the Copa del Rey. Joined just after Real Madrid's last win in the competition in 2014. Difficult to keep in play, but that's exactly what Real have done. Carvajal out of position. Eder Militao nips in, and they've got the ball back again, and in a dangerous area here, working the ball to Vinicius, as they've done at every opportunity. He's looking to bend one. Not quite, but the chance was there.
Yes, it was. You wouldn't necessarily say it was a miss, Ian, but the pitch opens up for him. You see Moncayola, I mean, you don't want to keep picking on him, but he just drops back, keeps on going backwards and backwards and backwards, and allows Vinicius Junior to find that area. You see that replay, you almost feel as if he should have scored.
Well, it's still only 1-0, as it has been for the last 33 minutes or so. So maybe the first staging post for Osasuna is to keep it this way. if they can't find an equaliser at half-time and not accrue any further damage. Budimir's lovely little flick into the path of Peña. John Marcaiola. Juan Cruz carries on with his run. Does leave them open to the counter on that side. Benzema's lovely layoff. Kroos.
Exactly right, Ian.
How quick can they take it here? Vinicius. Two Brazilians combining for the goal. Close again. Real Madrid trying to find that lethal end of season rhythm that they can sometimes perfect. Trying to draw the Osasuna team out of shape. Camavinga's going to try his luck from long range. You saw what Alaba did with the free kick.
Yeah, he just pulled the shot. Nice play from Madrid. Very patient. Referee's given a yellow card. David Garcia, I think it is. Yeah. Don't know what particularly for.
Nope. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get a clue here. Yeah.
Oh, that was the rugby tackle, sorry, on Benzema before.
I think you can say that's a fair cop, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So that's two of the defenders, Marcaiola and David Garcia, the captain, both cautioned. Just another little problem for Osasuna going forward in the game here. You can only imagine what it's like in the town of Pamplona tonight. Streets must be deserted, those streets where they have the famous running of the bulls early every July. Some very brave people go out in front of those bulls as well, and there are a few injuries, sadly, but it's a world-renowned event, isn't it?
What about brave, Ian? I think crazy, I think it's the word, isn't it? You put yourself in that position.
Use whatever adjective you want. You wouldn't catch me doing it, put it that way. All part of the Fermin festival. Close to play it forward, not too accurately on this occasion. Just overrun that time by Rodrigo. Marcaiola. Failed to find Peña. Camavinga's carried on with his run here. They found him as well. More space again on this side. Almost an invitation to shoot, which he didn't really take. No, and allowed Aridani to get across and cover the angle.
Yeah, he was almost caught in two minds whether to pass or to shoot, and in the end he didn't either. Benzema makes a good run to the right of him actually, and he could have picked him out, but it was a disappointing effort in the end.
Not really cashed in. It'll be interesting to see what Arrasate, the coach of Osasuna, does about this problem at half-time, if he can find an answer. Some people just don't find an answer to Vinicius and co down that side.
Oh, they've got a real problem, Ian, haven't they? They've got a real problem. Rumani wins the ball there. They've got a real problem down this side of the pitch, and they have to fix it quick. The fact that it's only 1-0 are fortunate, because whether it's Vinicius or whether just like that was their Camavinga with an effort, but everything is coming down this side of the pitch. So if you're Madrid, you need to keep on giving it to Vinicius Jr. as soon as you can.
Real Madrid have lost 4 of their last 11 games in all competitions. Barcelona away to Girona, Villarreal, Real Sociedad a few days ago.
Militao's gone into the book.
Yellow for him.
I mean, that's a poor challenge, really. He's nowhere near. Aymar is late. Can't get there, so just barges him out the way.
His former slight concern for Real Madrid going into that Manchester City semi-final, as you say, with Erling Haaland around, having topped 50 goals already this season. Kroos, uncharacteristic, loose ball was picked up by Aymar. Here's Abdi. Come closest of all so far for Osasuna. He's definitely prepared to have a dart at the defence, but blocked off that time. And here comes the latest break, and all avenues lead to this man, the number 20, Vinicius. David Garcia just did enough. Vinicius didn't like that. He's got plenty to say as well.
Yeah, he goes diving, Vinicius Junior. David Garcia does use his arm, his left arm, just to move him away, but Vinicius took exception with him tapping him on the head.
I don't know what was said there, if anything, but Vinicius looks pretty steamed up, doesn't he?
I think he taps him on the head, Ian. You see his left arm goes across, Vinicius goes flying, no penalty, not whatsoever. And then there's a bit of word said, and he taps him on the head. So, and I think he took exception to that, and Karim Benzema certainly took exception to it as well. See, that's okay, and there, look, he rubs him on the head,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. He's just being playful, wasn't he, really?
I mean, he just has to be careful, doesn't he? David Garcia. It's a final, he's had a yellow card, he's the captain. Don't do anything that can influence the referee or influence the game.
Is that a yellow card offence now, then?
No, it's not. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. Absolutely not. But you know what it's like.
He just didn't like it. As we always make the point, it is a passion play. The footballers are pretty steamed up out there in the middle of a high-tempo, high-stakes game. Moncayola. Having said that, Vinicius maybe has to make sure he doesn't overreact, as he sometimes does, because he has become a target, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree.
That's the point. He's become a target.
He does react. That's why people will have be kicking him and talking to him and trying to put him off, because he reacts. There's no problem about that, and you'll use whatever tactics you can to try and weaken him or get him a yellow card or get him sent off yourself. So there's no problem about that. You see here, he's had it again. There's no problem. Ruben Peña can bump into him and move him away. He just has to take it. Vinicius Junior.
Valverde's ball forward.
Lovely play by Rodrigo.
Rodrigo dancing through the defence. That's well defended. It was David Garcia, who does have to watch his step a little bit, as you say, yellow card, and then just that little talking to. Rodrigo stays down. Camavinga crashing into the challenge on Peña. And now what's happened here on the far side, away from the ball?
Yeah, that was Rodrigo from his previous run. Vinicius Junior's had a yellow card in. Just for talking to the referee. But here's the Rodrigo run. Challenge comes in. That's where he's down for him. Referee played on.
Cruz's challenge. Ancelotti is, well, he doesn't often get that worked up about things, but I tell you what, tempers are very frayed here. And I think the players are going to have to be very careful. I'm sure both coaches will make the point. It's no use if we're down to 10 men.
No. He doesn't need to get involved, Vinicius Junior. I know at times it's hard if players are doing stuff, but you just have to take it and move away.
It's Ruben Peña. Experienced La Liga player at a few clubs, making his point to the referee. He was just trying to keep the lid on all this. But it's very, very clear that Real Madrid want to put this trophy in the cabinet tonight. I think you saw it from the selection. And what are they saying to Vinicius, do you think, there?
Well, exactly what we've just been saying. Don't let anybody get into your head. He's having a really good night on the pitch offensively, so don't do anything to change the flow of the game, like you would say to one of the Osasuna defenders. He's had a yellow card now, Vinicius Junior.
Moy Gomez. Long throw, stoppage time, first half, looking for the flick on, they don't get it. Tchouaméni won the header. Real Madrid on top and in front, but they haven't put this final to bed, not by any stretch, not yet.
Well, considering they have been so dominant this side of the pitch, the left-hand side of the pitch, Osasuna are well in the game. Sarte will have a word with them at half-time, try and put them right.
I was just going to say, Steve, I think Carlo Ancelotti will be a bit disappointed they haven't made more of this, Real Madrid.
Yeah,
you might feel they could have really effectively have this game won by now, but they haven't. Here's Vinicius again. Double bank marking on him this time. Toro stops the play and I think blows the whistle amid all of that before that kicks off again. It's a half-time. Well, Vinicius has been right at the centre of the drama. His brilliant run after 1 minute and 47 seconds, setting up Rodrigo for the goal that puts Real Madrid ahead. They had other opportunities as well. Alaba hit the bar and Osasuna nearly grabbed one with Abde. Still a lot to play for here. Half-time, Real Madrid 1, Osasuna 0.
Quite the first half of football then in this, the 2023 Copa del Rey final. It's Real Madrid who have the initiative at the break. That early goal from Rodrigo proving to be the difference here at half-time. Ali Moreno alongside me in case you missed any of the first half action. Let's take you through, shall we, the highlights, and what a start it was. And it was all about Vinicius Junior on this near side.
Well, it's been a mismatch with Moncayola, and whenever he got help from Ruben Peña, that's not a whole lot of help either. Beautiful work from Vini Jr. down the end line. It is poor defending from Moncayola, poor defending from Ruben Peña, gorgeous from Vinicius, servicing to the box. Rodrigo with a help by the touch of Juan Cruz. A sliding challenge goes under the legs of Juan Cruz, over the head of Sergio Herrera. 1-0.
So Real Madrid with the early initiative. Osasuna, though, would have their chances as well. Poor clearance here was almost taken advantage of. Budimir with a header wide.
Budimir does well in hanging in the air, but just can't generate anything with the header.
How many times did we see this in the first half? Vinicius Junior with so much space on the near side. Plays it in here, Rodrigo. Benzema, great save.
The angle is all wrong from Moncayola, allows Vini to get in behind. This is not exactly the best touch from Rodrigo. It worked out perfectly for Benzema, but Sergio Herrera comes up with a save.
Meanwhile, Osasuna looking to cause some chaos here on the break. We talked about Militao's lack of form coming into this game. He would slip here, but in the end, the goal line clearance saves Madrid.
The second touch by Abde takes him wider than he should, makes the angle tighter for him, which then makes the finish a whole lot more difficult.
No one was expecting this from Alaba. That's so far out, but he does brilliantly well to manipulate the ball, denied though by the crossbar.
And that is a courtesy dive from Sergio Herrera. He wasn't getting there, but the crossbar gets on the way.
Vinicius Junior was just always in the way of that Osasuna defence throughout this first half. Good chance here
But because Moncayola now is afraid, he's backing up. It allows the space for Junior to find that far post, unable to connect.
Vinicius Junior was outstanding throughout this first half, but we talked about that frustration bubbling over in previous encounters, looking for a penalty here. Clearly it's not a penalty. Him and David Garcia going head-to-head here, now with Peña, more and more. And in the end, Vinicius Junior will be booked. And we just saw this, just going into the tunnel. Shouting at the referee. Is that Lucas Vázquez there who's trying to play the peacemaker?
Him and Antonio Rudiger are the ones that are separating. And you know exactly what Osasuna is trying to do. Okay, Vini is thinking about us. He's not thinking about the mismatch with John Moncayola. That takes away from Vini's game, and it helps Osasuna.
Yeah, of course. And this will continue for quite a bit in the tunnel here in Seville. Just exchange between the two sets of players. You can just see there, it's Lucas Vázquez who's just trying to calm everything down in the centre. And, well, this is the score that matters, isn't it? Real Madrid 1, Osasuna 0. It's interesting when you look at expected goals. In fact, Osasuna is higher than Real Madrid.
Welcome back to our coverage of the Copa del Rey final, the final of the Spanish Cup, as it were. Ian Dark and Steve McManaman with you as the players prepare to resume, well, you could say hostilities, because this has been a feisty, fiery game so far.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable, but you're right. There's a lot of arguing, a lot of confrontation at half-time in that area where we can see now. Let's see what will happen in the second half, but as the boys alluded to in the studio, and Luis and Pablo, they need to get a grip of Vinicius, don't they? The Osasuna players. Moncayola needs a bit of help off somebody. And it'll be interesting to see how they line up now in the second half, and if Arasate's done anything to try and fix that problem they had in the first half.
Yeah, all will be revealed. It was interesting that just before you rejoined us, there was the shot of Carlo Ancelotti coming out of the locker room with his arm on Vinicius's shoulder, like he was just having a quiet word with him on the way back out, to maybe just keep the lid on things. They don't want to lose him or have him involved in any kind of high-profile, red card or something like that, particularly at such an important stage of the season.
Yes, of course, Ian. And what you have to do as a professional footballer is do your talking on the pitch. If he comes out in the second half, if he's been angered by something that the Osasuna players have said or something that's happened, the best way to answer it is on the pitch. Go out, play like you did in the first half, go and get a goal, lift the trophy, and that's how you prove people wrong.
There it is, jam-packed full. The Estadio de la Cartuja in Sevilla. It's still about 25 degrees centigrade. What is that? Up in the 70s or so, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been very, very warm in Spain, and particularly in Sevilla, that area. Temperatures during the day up to 35. That's close to 100, isn't it? So,
yeah,
very warm in the stadium.
Sevilla, I think, is the hottest place officially in Europe.
Interesting to see if any
temperatures, landlocked as it is. Beautiful, charming city. If you ever do get the chance to go, you should. Real Madrid leading by a goal to nil. They're looking for their third trophy of the season. They've already won the European Super Cup. There we are. Check on the temperature, 75, just like we were saying. And they've
spot on, Ian, you were spot on.
Yeah, good judges.
Meteorologist as well as a commentator.
No good at the football, good at the temperatures. It's Carvajal for Real Madrid in their famous all-white, of course. Osasuna in their traditional outfit of red shirts, Los Rojillos as they're known, the Little Reds. Fantastic day in their club history, but they don't want to just come and enjoy the occasion. They want to make history by bringing the first ever trophy to the club.
Absolutely, and point was getting to a final and losing it. May as well have got knocked out in one of the earlier rounds. So while you're there, you have to give it everything.
I don't think the Osasuna fans are thinking that. They're glad to have a final.
Yes, they are.
I don't think they want to be knocked out in the earlier rounds.
They're certainly making enough noise. They'll enjoy themselves.
Here's Aledani, who had a good first half, making some important interceptions. They were needed as well. Here's Aymar. Attacking midfield player, looking to set up possible opportunities. Abde, it could be important if he can find the right kind of service. Carvajal just limping away from that there. Not quite sure what happened.
I don't know whether they got a straight kick on the knee.
If it's just a kick, he'll run that off, won't he?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
The worry would be if that's some kind of muscle injury or something more serious. It clearly isn't, because Carvajal, I think, would kind of know that. And on we go. Good pressure. Aymar won the ball back again. Toro tried his luck. Real Madrid's defending was good. And the break is on. And here's Vinicius again. Once again up against Moncayola on that side. Moy Gomez has come across to try and give him a little bit of help. Real Madrid would just want some clear water here with a second goal. Carvajal, he is okay. Eder Militao under pressure from Budimir, who's been pretty lively really up there. Got through a lot of work. One or two headers on goal as well.
Yeah, he's done well. He hasn't had the service or the quality of service.
Nice turn by the Uruguayan Fede Valverde, who's become a very important player over the last couple of seasons. He's got 12 goals this season. Valverde easily a career best.
Well, he's a good athlete, Ian, isn't he? Gets forward, gets back. Great energy.
Which is important because there are one or two older legs around.
Absolutely.
In the midfield. And will be vital in the European games coming up. Camavinga's got forward here, got in behind as well. Benzema, difficult angle. You've seen him strike from that sort of situation before, but not that time.
Yeah, it was strange actually from Karim Benzema. Good run by Camavinga, and he pulls it back to Benzema, but you always felt he was never going to score. Angle was getting closed down by Aledani. May have been better just taking his time coming out.
Four consecutive periods of extra time in the last 4 rounds for Osasuna. They'd settle for that again right here.
Yeah, they would.
They are a family club, though. One of their players, Brasanac, picked up a cruciate injury recently. The reaction of the club was to give him a new 1-year contract. They said he's part of our family. We're not going to leave him stranded. Not every club would do that.
Not every club, you're right. Not every club.
Marvellous gesture by Osasuna. That was played a little short by Moy Gomez.
Oh, the goalkeeper Sergio Herrera urging his team to come to the ball. And when playing a dangerous pass really into the centre like that, you have to be very, very careful.
Took a bit of a chance. Did evade Budimir. Hit long and in behind effectively for Rodrigo. He gets the better of Cruz. Cruz got back. Maybe importantly, Benzema looking for that half yard of space that he needs. Is Vinicius this time. Can't add to his 22 goal tally this season.
Now, lovely play. Militao over the top to Rodrigo. Benzema feeds Vinicius Junior, but he's quite rash with it as well. Just slashes at it, way over eventually.
It was a good ball by Eder Militao to set up that last attack from deep in his own half. Camavinga had read that one. Eder Militao, not a great clearance. Moy Gomez picked that up. Here's Ruben Peña with the cross in. Abde was attacking it. Budimir was in there as well.
And Danny Carvajal did really well in defensive header, but it was poor clearance from Militao. Just hoofs it anywhere with his left foot.
Real spring in their step from Osasuna at the start of the half. Big underdogs, of course, here, looking to spring the shock. Juan Cruz. Carvajal's ball.
Here's the chance. Just evades Budimir, but Danny Carvajal does really well.
Yeah, it's a good header, isn't it? Clever header. Cayola. Budimir looking to make a nuisance of himself again. It's a decent little spell in the game, this for Osasuna. Flicked on by Cruz. Have they got a player, though, that can really hurt Real Madrid?
Yeah, that's the thing, Ian, isn't it? Yes, there's been balls into the box for Budimir, but they haven't really a chance by Abde. Have they got someone as clinical as some of the Real Madrid players to get them back into this game?
Well, on the bench is their top scorer this season, Chimi Avila, and also the man who's got 5 goals in the competition, more than anybody else, Kike, left out of the starting lineup. Those two definitely options. Toro. Now Cruz. Dani. Well, for the moment, happy to just sit in and maybe intercept one of these passes and go on a lightning break.
Yeah. You almost feel that Real Madrid can step it up a bit, can't you? Yes, they're only 1-0 and they're comfortable, they feel comfortable. But you also think that they could go again if they wanted to. Almost playing within themselves at the moment.
They'd like a decent lead, though. Maybe they could take some of these players off and put them in cotton wool for Tuesday. That would be the ideal scenario for Ancelotti, but at the moment, can't really do that. The game's not won. Got a lot of good options. Of course, he has in a very deep squad. Peña goes down. It's not getting anything.
But you're right, Ian. It's a warm day, as we mentioned before. There'll be fatigue will set in, even though it's late in Spain. Fatigue will set in. So you want to rest some of the players. This huge tie coming up on Tuesday.
They do like a late night in Spain, don't they? And this is later than most, and 20 past 11 at night. This game is, well, it could go on past midnight if it went to extra time.
Well, certainly not ideal preparation when you've got Manchester City on the horizon.
Moy Gomez. Chance to get the cross away this time. It's aimed towards Budimir, easily cut out by Alaba. You'll have read the stories, I'm sure, those of you who follow the game, and Real Madrid in particular, that they're pretty confident of signing Jude Bellingham from Borussia Dortmund for something like 120 million euros, around that.
Yeah, that's all what we hear, isn't it? I think with Dortmund going for the Bundesliga, I don't think anything could be done now, and maybe it'll all be tied up in the summer, but sources, you would say, think that it's going to be very close.
Yeah, they won't do anything with Dortmund going for the title out of respect, but there's a good relationship, I'm told, between the two clubs, and all the word is that it's not a done deal yet, but there are other clubs who obviously would be interested, but Real Madrid are very much favourites to find a place for the very talented young England player. Just being invited on here a little bit, Osasuna by Real Madrid. Abdi, and then Toro has equalised! The former Real Madrid player with a cracking shot, and the 25,000 fans from Pamplona go absolutely wild. They dreamt of a moment like that.
Ah, look at them celebrate, and what a hit from Toro. Madrid inviting them on. Falls for him, and it was a beautiful strike on the half volley. Madrid deep. Goes out to Abdi. Cross falls onto the edge of the box, and look how it falls. Just a half volley, just on the uplift, and he smashes right through it. Beautiful strike. Courtois, no chance. Osasuna back in the game.
This is his first goal of the season. What a time to score it. In off the inside of the post. Nothing Courtois could do. A wonderful strike from Lucas Toro. What a moment for him. Real Madrid have twice paid fees for him. 110,000 euros when he was a kid. 1.9 million later on in his career. Never really did make the breakthrough. He's wound up at Osasuna, and he's scored in the Copa del Rey final, and that's what it means to the vast travelling support in red. What a moment for this club, Osasuna.
Oh yeah, brilliant moment. At the back of Sergio Herrera in goal. They've been the better team in the second half. Real Madrid have not got going at all. Slight delay while the stewards and the police sort out problems in the crowd.
It looks like it's just got a little out of control over there. So a delay to the resumption of the game. Osasuna have got themselves out of a few holes where there's firecrackers going off, and you don't want to be seeing that. There's having fire extinguishers, so you wouldn't want it developing into a situation where it became dangerous, and it did look on the verge of that, didn't it, there?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything's back to normal.
Well, you'd have to say among those fans have got to be some people who probably never seen the team play before, because the stadium only holds 20,000. They've got 25,000 here, and you can only imagine the scene, can't you, around the bars in Pamplona tonight. Osasuna only have 2 comeback wins against Real Madrid in its history, in 2009 and then way back in 1982. And remember, they haven't won in the last 18 meetings against their more illustrious opponents. That's 13 Real Madrid wins and 5 draws in that sequence, which has gone on for 12 years. But Real Madrid, we asked a question, didn't we? Were they asking for trouble? They sat there, didn't they, and said, well, come on, man, try a few attacks.
Yeah, everything they did well in the first half, Madrid. They haven't done it all in the second half. Here now they've given the ball to Vinicius Junior. I mean, he was the standout player in the first half, and they haven't utilised him at all in the second half.
Benzema's on the chase here. Given chance to get the cross away as well, Valverde.
Big miss, Ian, big miss. He knows if Fede Valverde. Benzema puts it up really well. Nice ball in by Vinicius Junior. Benzema does well. This is a good chance, this. He sees it all the way. 15 yards out. And here's the goal. Falls to Toro, and what a nice hit. Just as the ball starts to lift up again.
He's a good goalkeeper, but I don't think any goalkeeper was getting to that.
No. Not happy at all.
Here's Rodrigo. Let's see if Real Madrid can lift it a couple of gears now. There was a sense that maybe that was the case. Maybe they were just conserving themselves with Tuesday night in mind against Manchester City. Now they've got to go and try and win the game again. Eder Militao almost invited to shoot. He thought about it. Carvajal.
The last thing they want here is extra time with Manchester City on the horizon. You don't want 120 minutes, and it could even go longer than that with penalties. It's such a big game, only a couple of days away.
I'll tell you who do want extra time: Manchester City.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They'll definitely have their spies here tonight, of course. Here's Valverde. Had that chance a moment or two ago. He's gone 8 without a goal. 8 games without a goal going into this match. Tchouaméni to spread the play. I wonder whether they might look for a bit of magic from Luka Modric.
Yeah, I think he will, Ian. It's all a bit slow, a bit pedestrian-like from Madrid. Not quick enough. They've allowed Osasuna to get back in that nice shape that they're in now. They certainly need to speed up the play. See Toni Kroos has got his arms out asking his teammates to move, but it's all a little bit lethargic at the moment.
And we've seen very little of Vinicius in the second half after all those incidents and raids down the left in the first half. What an interesting game. Here is Vinicius. Back to Kroos again. Here's Aurélien Tchouaméni. Real Madrid just looking like they've slightly lost their way in the game at the moment. That can change, of course, in an instant. Rodrigo just upping the tempo here. Carvajal. Well read and well cut out as well. By Toro again. Abdi. They are dreaming of a sensation here, Osasuna. And if they pulled it off, it would be one of the big stories, I think, of the whole European season, not just the Spanish season, but that is quite a big if. Valverde again. Here's Vinicius. Again. That's good work by Moncayola that time. Camavinga this time down the left-hand side again. Adedane is there. He played 11 years before making his debut in La Liga, Adedane. Great story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of the promotion team 4 years back. Kroos with the corner kick. Toro with the header. 24 points separating these two teams in La Liga this season. Real Madrid have slipped down to third place. They're behind Atletico now. And Osasuna in, well, comfortably enough off in 10th position.
Carlo with Davide.
Yeah, his son.
I cannot be happy with the second half performance.
They looked quite urgent, those discussions, didn't they? So maybe changes are afoot from Real Madrid. Got to say, great effort from Osasuna in the second half. The scoreline here exactly the same as the match finished at the Bernabeu between these two teams earlier on this season. Change coming up imminently for Osasuna as well. David Garcia starting to get their attacking midfield players into the game more. Here's Abde cutting inside. You can see the confidence has grown. There's a bit of swagger even about Osasuna now, like they're thinking to themselves, well, what have we got to be frightened about here?
Absolutely.
I think they're showing why they've reached this final as well. Cruz, it's an inaccurate ball to Abde. We'll get confirmation of the substitution in just a moment. Moncayola with the header, on by Moy Gomez towards Budimir. He did well. Here's Ruben Peña. Got to be careful. Moncayola is on a yellow card, remember, as is David Garcia. No referee, given a big showcase occasion like this, wants to be producing a red card, but the players can't be taking liberties, that's for sure.
And there's Tony really got to come on it. Doing so, wonder whether there's a problem defensively.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Or whether they think Alaba can't play the whole 90 after being out for a few games. Maybe it, is it or not? No, Tchouaméni. Okay. Well, we'll see how they reorganise.
David Alaba goes into the centre of midfield, and he can play in a number of positions, plays in that role, doesn't he, for Austria, so we'll wait and see.
So off goes Ante Budimir to be replaced by Osasuna's top scorer this season on 8 goals, Chimi Avila. He scored in the quarter-final win over Sevilla. Argentinian forward making his 100th appearance for Osasuna tonight. So that's a like-for-like switch. He'll be playing furthest forward, Avila. Vinicius here, good run this time, similar to the one where he set up the goal. David Garcia didn't really get it away. Kroos tried his luck, and Rodrigo's there again, and Real Madrid lead. 2 for him, 2 for Real Madrid, and Osasuna hearts broken.
A normal service has resumed, Ian. Give the ball to Vinicius Junior, let him do what he does best, terrorising defences, and that's exactly what he's just done. Give him the ball, let him run at people, let him cause chaos. Yes, they get a bit of fortune, it drops to Rodrigo, but this is what he does best. Attacks them, falls, don't clear the lines. Kroos with the shot, blocked, falls to Rodrigo, finishes it off. Does this go out? No chance. Does really well, actually, Vinicius Junior. They don't clear the lines enough there.
David Garcia was a bit of a hurried. They're a bit unlucky, weren't they?
Yeah,
off
they
Garcia, and it just set it up for Rodrigo, and sometimes that's how your luck goes, and it can be dependent on things like that.
Yeah. There you go, Carlo and his son.
Yeah.
Instant reaction from the substitution. Rudiger on, of course, it's Alaba's gone to left back, I presume, and Camavinga's gone into the central areas, trying to speed the game up. But as soon as you utilise Vinicius Junior, that's what they should have been doing all along. After the first half, he had Chimi Avila's off.
Trying to bite back straight away here, Osasuna. Been an engrossing, captivating night. Avila was in there again, and Aymar wearing the number 22 shirt, trying to take advantage as well. Osasuna have never been rattled when they've been behind in this game, and remember, they went behind inside 2 minutes on the night. There's plenty of belief about them, and I would think a lot of their build-up and training was how they would play should they find themselves in this situation. Here's Rodrigo again. Could he get a cup final hat-trick? It was the boys from Brazil again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Vinicius with the set-up work, Rodrigo with the finish.
Yeah, I like the first goal.
That's brought the Real fans to life. Avila with the little layoff. Here's Aymar. Now Toro. Good spread of the play. Fizzed in, good idea that. Avila, really good cross, inviting.
Yeah, he gets ahead of Militao, Avila. Gets ahead of him. It's a good run. Lovely play yet again by Osasuna.
You have to say, looking at this, Real Madrid's defending is going to have to be a lot better than we're witnessing here when they play Manchester City. Otherwise, they could be in some serious difficulties.
Absolutely. If they play like this, City will score, and they'll score more than one. So they have to be a lot better.
But they are a different team in the Champions League.
They are.
I've seen that often enough. Wow, look at last season. That's for another day. So Rudiger is on now. FA Cup final winner with Chelsea in his past. In fact, he played in a couple of finals, won one, lost one with Chelsea. Forward by Camavinga, now playing in midfield. Benzema wide, Vinicius again. Red lights flashing. And this time Herrera emerges with the ball.
Yeah, it's a strange one again by Vinicius. He has Adadane running backwards. And in the end, he runs out of play. Camavinga with the yellow card now.
And it's the latest one in the book.
A late challenge on Peña. Not too bad.
But bad enough to get him a yellow card. So a couple of more changes coming up. Ruben Garcia and wide left by Kike Barha. Abde's one of those coming off, isn't he? Ruben Garcia will probably go and play on the right-hand side. Yeah, Abde's gone off.
Yeah, Abde's gone off. Kike's on.
Kike Barha has featured 22 times in La Liga this season. Juan Cruz, blocked by Camavinga. Here's Moy Gomez, and they've broken it up, and that means a break for Real Madrid on the transition. Look at Avila, the striker, getting back, trying to keep up with Vinicius. I don't think anybody really can. Kroos trying to pick out Rodrigo. It's Benzema. Cruz got the block in.
Yeah, good block in the end, but yet again, Vinicius Junior, Ian, too quick.
Well, he's been the difference, really, hasn't he, tonight?
Well, we knew Ian straight from the first minutes that he had the beating of that Osasuna defence. Moncayola, Peña couldn't keep up with him, couldn't deal with him. And when someone's hot like that, you just have to feed him the ball and make him go again and again and again.
Inside the last quarter of an hour. Rodrigo, and then, well, look at that, from Alaba on the turn with a volley. We've seen him hit the bar tonight.
Yeah, let's see what the connection was like. Just comes off the outside of his foot, just spins over.
Have Osasuna got another surprise in store? Here's Baha. Trying to get the better of Danny Carvajal. Fresh legs on that side. Well, one back, Moncayola. Almost invited to shoot. He does let fly, and they nearly came up with something on the break, and Ruben Garcia was in there. Nearly dropped to him. And it is Ruben Garcia to take the corner kick. Shima Avila took some defending. Eder Militao.
Good header first by Rudiger, then Militao.
Ruben Garcia involved straight away. Adidani with the header. And Courtois will come and claim that one. Well, the word Osasuna in the Basque language means health or strength or force. How much of that have they got left here in this Copa del Rey final? The ball, whole of the ball has to cross the line. It definitely didn't do that in the build up to the goal. So it was okay.
Yeah, very clear, wasn't it?
I think we already knew that though, didn't we?
So, just for all the conspiracy theorists, though, Ian.
Just to confirm it. Well, I'm never going to say it's out again, not after that Japan won at the World Cup. It looked like it was in another postal district. It's proven to be in. Oh, it's a loose ball that. Benzema may be able to take advantage. They still might. Vinicius. Benzema. Another goal for Real Madrid,
Sloppy,
you think,
though.
would settle the argument once and for all.
Yeah, sloppy by Madrid, though, Ian, by Benzema.
Well, they've seen their team put in a really sterling effort tonight, the Osasuna fans. Their fear would have been that they might be a little bit embarrassed, and certainly in the first couple of minutes they must have been wondering that, but they've really made this a pretty tight tussle, especially in the second half, and they've seen their team score a wonderful goal. Valverde, Toro and Baha doing their best. Luka Modric is about to come on.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of control in that midfield area, and they're bringing the right man on an occasion like this. Because they are getting a little bit sloppy, Madrid, giving the ball away in stupid areas.
Carvajal,
like
just like you said, Baha picked that up. Can Osasuna take advantage? No, they can't. Did stay in play. Camavinga wasn't sure, nor were we, really.
Just get on with the game.
Look at the high press going on by Osasuna. They have to do that now have to win that ball back high, see what they can get. Eder Militao to be replaced by Luka Modric. Is it, or is it Toni Kroos?
Toni Kroos, yeah.
I misread the number on the electronic board, which is easily done.
Another good evening for Toni Kroos.
Been a good final.
It has been, yes. Very enjoyable.
Toni Kroos within sight of picking up his first ever winner's medal in the Copa del Rey. Luka Modric has won one before, back in that 2014 team. Casillas was in that team, Pepe, Ramos, Contrao, Xabi Alonso, Isco, Di Maria and Gareth Bale from Benzema and Modric and Carvajal. No Copa del Rey win in the intervening years, but just the 5 Champions League
Just the 5 Champions League.
So they have had 1 or 2 other fish to fry.
Yeah. League titles, Champions Leagues, but as you said, no Copa del Reys.
It was Carlo Ancelotti who won this in his first time as coach of Real Madrid. Baha. It's a good run. Aymar to cross it. Courtois kind of read what was going to happen. Real Madrid are going to get the free kick.
He's always going to get a yellow card. Let his emotions get to him. Did before when he thought the ball went out of play, and he's at it again here.
Well, they are so fired up, aren't they? Osasuna on this big day for their club, one of the biggest in their history, certainly the biggest since 2005 when they were beaten after extra time by Real Betis. Valverde back to Vinicius. Benzema not able to find a way through. It was Mike Gomez forward to Avila. It's a clever piece of play. Absolutely delightful that from Vinicius. At times he resembles an electric eel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think the hot temper has given way to rueful smiles now.
So it should. When you've got the beating of the person who's marking you and you've ran past them 10 times, 11 times, just do it again and again and again. Like now, and try and get the third. This is David Alaba on the ball, but you know, play to your strengths. You're way on top. You can't do anything about it. Go and win the trophy. That's how you shut the opposition up.
I think Alaba's enjoying his little raids forward, isn't he? That's how little time you get with the ball. And top flight football, little insight there with that low camera. Nice changes coming up, I think, for Osasuna. More of that in a moment. 5 minutes left on the clock, plus anything the referee is going to add on. Here's Eduardo Camavinga. Rodrigo with a tempting looking ball in, and it was Rudiger with the header. Here's Kike Garcia, 5 goals in the competition. He scored in the first 3 rounds. Moy Gomez is coming off there. A lot of hard-working performance, and Toro making away as well. Kike is the player who scored at the Bernabeu earlier on this season to give Osasuna a 1-1 draw. What they'd take for a 2-2 draw after 90 here. And Marco Asensio waiting to be introduced as well. Ruben Garcia was chasing that one. Courtois comes out to claim it. You can see the finishing post now. Here's Modric. He's been out with a little injury lately. Benzema, with the space beginning to appear now. Benzema wide for Vinicius. He wants a goal for himself as well tonight. You got to say, Moncayola has stuck to his task pretty well over there, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Remember, he picked up an early booking as well. You wondered whether the coach would have to sub him, really, to save him from further punishment. He did represent Spain at the Tokyo Olympics, Moncayola. Forward by Carvajal. Goalkeepers in a tearing rush. Of course, he is to get this ball forward as fast as possible. Play on, says the referee. Kike Baha. Tempting looking cross. Well dealt with by Alaba. Forward by Aredani. Time running out for Osasuna on this dream day in their history. Here comes Marco Asensio. He's got 3 goals in the past against Osasuna. Rodrigo gets a standing ovation for his, well, what looks like match-winning performance.
Yeah. Great evening for him, 2 goals. Could be the match winner.
And here comes Asensio. 11 goals he's got this season, and quite often he scores corkers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
A lot of red shirts forward here for Osasuna.
That's a good header from Militao. A smack on his back, I think, because of it.
Referee's just checking there's no head injury there and says we'll play on. And Asensio gets involved. Lovely ball off the outside of the foot for him. Vinicius can make it 3 here and finish it. Chooses to feed Benzema. It was the wrong choice because he underhit the ball.
A strange thing to do.
Wow. Well, what a moment that was. It was a strange moment, as you said. You thought Vinicius had finished that himself.
And sometimes they almost feel as if they have to pass to Benzema.
Valverde's gone in the book.
Yeah, that's a second tackle. A missed tackle in about a minute, so he was always going to do that. He had to break up the play.
He's the captain, Osasuna. David Garcia would have dreamt several times since the team reached the final of picking up the trophy tonight and taking it back to Pamplona.
There's still time, Ian. 5 minutes of injury time. They just need to get the ball forward and play with a little bit of urgency. There you go, put it forward.
They're trying to do exactly that, cleared by Camavinga.
Man in the box.
Ruben Garcia chooses not to. Here's Kike. Kike's got 5 goals in this competition, only 2 in the league.
Yeah.
Loves the cup, apparently. Up for the cup.
There he goes, Vinicius. Why he does that? Playing the ball back behind him. He's through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It might all be, it might be massive at all.
Is there a sting in the tail here? They've been made to work for this Real Madrid tonight. Didn't look like that might be the case early on in proceedings. It looked like they might run away with it. Benzema wide. Vinicius again, going through the routine with the sole of the boot. Time is definitely on Real's side. Asensio getting olays from their supporters here.
Yeah, this is the best way to run the clock down, just by keeping the ball.
That's exactly what Real Madrid are doing here. Just not going to make any mistakes doing it. Modric. Courtois says, stop all the nonsense, I'll get it right down the pitch.
Correct, get it 80 yards away from your goal.
Some intense faces among the Osasuna supporters. A desperate search for an equalising goal, bouncing around dangerously. Givi Avila, and Baja was in there. Carvajal did just about enough.
What a chance.
Wow.
What a chance, and Dani Carvajal does really well. What a block from him, let's see. Oh, brilliant block. The referee's given a goal kick as well.
And that's what Baja's protesting about. It was really great defending by Dani Carvajal. Otherwise, it looked like Osasuna had an equaliser. It was that close.
And Courtois just got a yellow card in for time wasting. There we go, yes.
It's the fifth Real Madrid yellow card of the night. That's Carvajal's ball straight to a red shirt, though. If Osasuna are going to rescue this, they'll have to do it very soon. Ruben Garcia goes to the return ball. He put up a cracking performance in the second half of this game. But Vinicius has been in the mood most of the night, and he's going to get the free kick here. And looks like Cruz is getting a book of no, it's Ibanez who's just recently come on.
He doesn't get the ball. He does get Vinicius Junior. He sort of gets across in frustration. The Osasuna fans.
Ibanez was the player who scored a glorious goal in the semi-final to make sure that Osasuna got this far. 4 minutes from the end of extra time in Bilbao. Flicked on the game towards Kike. Carvajal again with more good work for Real Madrid. Camavinga won the header, but the full-time whistle goes. Real Madrid pick up the Copa del Rey for the first time in 9 years, since 2014. Nice scene between Carlo Ancelotti and the man who's done so much for Osasuna, Jacoba Asarte. What a performance Osasuna put up. They equalised in the game, but Real Madrid found a winner. But really, they can hold their heads high, Osasuna, tonight. They really can.
Yeah, they ran Real Madrid really close, and just a couple of moments of magic from Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo was settle the game, but they can be very, very proud of themselves, Osasuna. Really good final.
A third trophy of the season for Real Madrid. Osasuna still stay trophyless, but they can be proud of their performance. They really can. Those fans appreciate it as well. We'll hand over to the FC team in just a moment. Result here, Real Madrid 2, Osasuna 1 in the cup final.
club's history, Real Madrid are the winners of the Copa del Rey. They certainly didn't have it all their own way against an Osasuna side looking to win it for the first time in the history of the club. But it was all about the two Brazilians linking up, Vinicius Jr.
Real Madrid, maybe just in terms of that bit of quality, guys, get that little bit of quality around the penalty box, just the difference on the night.
Yeah, and I think also, especially in the first half, in the second they were a bit better in the terms of playing or trying to play in Real Madrid half. Of course, you have to be careful because they had a lot of pace up front.
Benzema was relatively quiet today, but we can forgive him a night off, can't we?
Yeah, of course we can.
He's saved Madrid plenty of times. But look how proud those away fans, or I say away fans, that the Osasuna fans are of their team. I mean, second time they got to a major cup final, and they did play very well. They gave Madrid a fright. And,
for sure.
They'll be relieved to get through with the trophy.
They will. You saw the tears from Arrasate there. He will be proud, but it'd be very frustrating because they weren't that far away.
Yeah, for as much as you get there and you say, you have to play, it's difficult, it's Real Madrid, you have hope. Like, there's a chance, of course, that's what you play and that's what you believe. But when it comes to the realization of you've lost a final opportunity like that, and all the tension, emotions that it comes with it, I'm sure a lot of tears will come not only from Jago, but also from the players, the fans, because they understand how huge it is for them and how close they were to something like that. I think we've been saying it.
Yeah.
They have to hold the head up. They play great season, great final. They put a fight. They put a really big game. And most important, it was Osasuna, like the team we saw, because sometimes in these games, you kind of get nervous, you get overexcited, and you don't really play at your maximum potential. And I think Osasuna did it today.
Yeah, absolutely. When they get over the disappointment of no trophy, no winner's medal, hopefully they can be proud of how they played. And I think the fans seem pretty proud of their players. Just seeing those shots there of Vinicius with, I think it was Dani Ceballos, Michael. I suppose you have to accept the kind of the mischievousness, the naughtiness at times with the genius. Is that how it goes?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Some players play on the edge. I don't mind that. You think of some great players, they're playing on the edge, but that's not the edge, that's petulance, a lot of it. So I'm not sure if he knocks that out of his game. Listen, it'll bite him in the backside one day, he'll get another yellow card and he'll have to miss a game or be sent off in a final or something like that. That might teach him, because there's no need for the yellow cards he gets. There's no need for the bragging and the boasting and the showing that we're winning 1-0 in front of an opponent's face and things like that. I don't know. I think you could knock that out of him, to be honest.
Yeah. Officials just going up to receive their medals. Just worth pointing out on that, guys, and you know better than either of us, at times this season and before, that relationship, if you like, with the fans in Spain has tipped over into abuse for Vinicius, racist abuse at times. So we have to factor that in. But do you take Michael's point that he creates some problems for himself?
I agree with Michael. I mean, we see a lot of players with attitude. You don't mind that because it's part of the game, and some players like to play to that sort of also trying to provoke the opponent team, engage you into the games. But it's true that Vinicius, especially at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of not correct behavior from the fans, and he responded to that. Again, ideally, players who focus on the game. It's very difficult, of course, to stay away with when some comments or abuse come from this sort of personal situation, like racism. And certainly, it's wrong from both sides. But I think Vinicius, we see with Ancelotti, with teammates, we saw a lot of even Modric, Benzema, talking to him, trying to say, calm down, calm down. Yeah. In the beginning, when he used to respond to these fans that should not be in the stadiums to begin with, but anyway, to try to focus on the football and not on the situations that happens around these situations.
It was a nice moment.
The president.
Yeah, the president and Lele Garcia, who played terrific. He'll, I'm sure, have a sleepless night worrying about how that second goal went in, but shouldn't feel bad. And those fans certainly, whilst I'm sure they are gutted, and he seems to display that, the manager, they gave it their all. OK, let me hand you back to Glenn and Paul for the formalities out in Seville. Dempo?
Thank you very much, Matt. Luis Sabalza, the president of Osasuna, the coach, Jagoba Arrasate almost overcome how close their team came. They gave it so much tonight, didn't they? Fantastic occasion in this city. We're blessed with so many super stadiums. This one has been the perfect setting for a real top-class game of football. And here comes Karim Benzema now to take custody of the Copa del Rey for Real Madrid. He's up there all by himself. Knows how to do this. Yet another glittering prize taken on behalf of a club who rewrite the record books constantly when it comes to winning. But they've let a few go, let a few of those trophies slip through their fingertips, particularly in the last 30-odd years. So this is sweet indeed for Benzema and for Real Madrid. Only 3 times in the last 30 years before tonight they've actually claimed it. A great day out for their fans. We've lauded the Osasuna fans and their performance, but the Real Madrid fans rather enjoying being back in a cup final. Of course, when you do have 14 European Cups or Champions Leagues, 35 La Liga titles, the Copa del Rey sometimes appears something of an afterthought. Not tonight. They've done it, and done it with a fabulous performance. They needed a fabulous performance. Real Madrid edged it against Osasuna, and with that they claim the Copa del Rey for the 20th time in their history. 2023 is turning out rather well for Carlo Ancelotti and his players. Club World Cup, now the Copa del Rey, and of course in the Final Four yet again in the UEFA Champions League. They won't overdo the celebrations, that's for certain, but they will enjoy it before turning attention to Manchester City. And they might need to put their feet up for a few hours because they really had to put it all in here tonight. And for the first time in a decade, since Carlo Ancelotti's reign first time round, they savour success in Spain's big cup competition. We've got the memories of a wonderful performance. Glenn, I'll just ask you for a final word.
No, I think Real Madrid overall just about shaded it. It was a fabulous effort from Osasuna. I think Carlo Ancelotti and his staff will be delighted that it hasn't gone to extra time, because they've got City, such a big semi-final next week, and that's a big bonus for Real Madrid. But congratulations to them again, lifting another trophy, and bigger things next week.
Glenn, thank you very much indeed. We've had a splendid day in Seville in every possible way, and a game to grace this occasion. Real Madrid lift the trophy at the end of it. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Paul. And on a day for kings and coronations, the King's Cup goes to the King's team, Real Madrid, for the 20th time. Lift. A pretty big trophy, and he knows how to win, doesn't he? Carlo, all that talk about his future, Brazil knocking. Nice problems to have, I would think. And the captain had to go up and collect the trophy from the King, who's had a tough day. He's been in Westminster Abbey, done a bit of walking, so to be fair, perhaps it was just as well that the Real Madrid skipper went up and got the trophy.